Hi, I'm Mike France, the Managing Director of Safety and Training here at NATA. Thanks for joining us at Views from the Ramp. Before we get started today, a couple of quick things. First, want to remind you to hit like and subscribe on this video. We appreciate you being here, and we want to make sure we can share Views from the Ramp with as many people in the industry as possible. Second, as many of you know, it is a unique time here at NATA. We have begun the process of retiring our legacy Safety First system, launched back in 2008, and we are rolling out an increasing use of our brand new Safety First Training Center. Stay tuned at the end of today's show. We've got a quick sneak peek preview of the Safety First Training Center that I think you'll enjoy. Enjoy the show. Tom, Jeanette, welcome to the NATA Views from the Ramp. So glad you guys could join us today.
Mike, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
So for our audience, I'll kind of give a brief introduction here. We're joined by Tom Murray, the President and COO of iReportSource, and Jeanette Wilson. You are the Director of Customer Success and Development. Did I get that one right? All right. Well, we're really excited to have you join us here on Views from the Ramp and talking about what really is becoming a hot topic in our industry, and that is safety management systems. Just today, and I saw an article out there in the industry about the FAA talking about rolling out SMS for on-demand charter operators and certified maintenance repair stations. So that's something happening in our industry. But before we get into all that, I guess we ought to talk to the audience a little bit about who iReportSource is, what you guys are, what do you do, and then we'll get into kind of talking about where we all are going to be working together.
Sure, Mike.
Well, take that, Tom.
Yeah, I'll get started on that. So iReportSource is a web and mobile-based application that helps companies simplify safety. And one of our taglines is we make the transition to safety technology easy. And so what we mean by that is my background is operational safety. Ran a business that cleaned food plants across the country, and all the daily activities, all the audits, all the toolbox talks, all the observations, figuring out a way to get that stuff, off of paper and into a more actionable format was really tough for our organization. And then beyond that, how do you grab the data out of it? So what iReportSource does is we help you digitize your safety program so that you can not only make it a lot easier to do the work and customize it to the way that you like to do it using our format, but additionally, you can then grab the data. We make it real easy once you capture all that to grab the data and do the proper analytics and trend analysis, things like that. So that's what we do.
Awesome. Well, so for our audience, I guess we should go ahead and make the big announcement, right? That iReportSource and NATA are now working together to really put your tool in the hands of our members. We've got so many aviation businesses now that are recognizing the value of SMS and are starting to implement their own SMS. Our goal at NATA is to provide tools and resources that make it easy, and it fits in exactly what you said, making technology easy when it comes to safety. So in addition to watching our episode today, keep your eyes open. There'll be a press release out there today talking about working with iReportSource to bring this out there. But that's not necessarily the focus of what we want to talk about today, right? We want to talk a little bit about safety and the safety management. So, for myself, I've been in aviation for a number of years. Safety was always something that was key to me from the learning and development standpoint. Let me ask you guys, Tom, Jeanette, where do you guys come from in terms of, safety and how you got into where you are right now?
So I'll start, Jeanette, and then you can take them through your background. So I try to be brief. My background, as I mentioned, is in we ran a business that cleaned food processing plants all across the country, USDA protein plants. And it was a great business, but it was decentralized operations everywhere. And it was very difficult in that when we had to manage the safety of our folks and literally we felt like we had a responsibility to our employees and not only our employees, but their families. And so, as I mentioned earlier, if we didn't do a great job at managing our safety programs, compliance, And the most difficult thing was making sure the training got through to them.
Right.
Then there were very serious, it was very serious consequences. And so that was always a priority. But the thing that always rung true for us was, and we had a saying about it, we just have a responsibility to send everybody home the way they came in, and not just put it on the employee, but take that responsibility. So that's my background, and that's why I'm as involved in this business, not just from a business standpoint, but personally that I am. Jeanette?
Yeah, so I come to iReportSource with 15 years of experience in education, be it corporate education, teaching, or just training on technology. And in my previous life, it was for colleges and universities and career and trade schools that maybe they didn't use technology in their world. So it's kind of similar with some safety programs. You guys are going from paper or maybe spreadsheets to a safety management system, and sometimes that can be a little bit daunting. So my job is to help make that a lot easier for you, and I have a lot of experience doing that, helping people be comfortable with the technology. And I get a good sense of accomplishment, just making sure that, like Tom said, your employees are safe and they go home the way that they came in. So it's important to me as well for the safety aspect too. I feel like I'm making a difference by helping everybody be able to use the technology.
Well, that's fantastic. We're excited to have both of you all working with NATA and our membership. We've seen a really interesting transition, I think, from safety management systems with aviation businesses. Just a few years ago, I would get phone calls from people say, "Hey, this SMS thing sounds cool. Where do I go buy one?" And that fundamental misunderstanding of what a safety management system is. Fortunately, I think by and large we've overcome that. Yeah. Now the challenge that I think we face is people are going, "Wow, this SMS, it's scalable. You can make it work for your organization, but there's still, if you want to be really effective, there's a lot out there." And really, that's where technology comes in. So how does iReportSource, where the rubber meets the road, if I'm an aviation business out there and I'm implementing and standing up an SMS, yeah, I can do it by paper, but what does it look like running my SMS or using iReportSource as part of my SMS? What's that look like?
So I think that one of the fundamental places we start with, and look, even though your members have similar operations, they also have different focus points. One might care more about that particular activity than others. So the first thing we do is we think it's important to offer a good group of features to allow them to do the different activities associated with safety, whether it's audits or pre-shift inspections, whatever the case may be. Right. And so the most important thing to get started is what are the activities? What are the safety activities that they typically perform, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, or periodically? And then part of what Jeanette and her group does is they take that and go, "Oh, okay, well, here's what we recommend with our, here's the group of features." It's not just here's what we have and everybody use this and you'll be fine. It's, "Oh, you guys want to do it that way? Great. You would use these features. You guys want to do it over here differently." So I think a benefit to, whether it's ours or any SMS, is that it is able to be used in a fashion that makes sense for the member company, for the people using it. Like these are the things we like to do. How does your application help us solve that problem?
So for me, when you talk SMS, I think one of the most exciting parts is its ability to impact organizational culture, right? Through some kind of a hazard reporting system and creating that engagement from frontline employees. We look at an FBO, for example, one of our biggest membership categories. There's a large number of frontline employees. These are the people that are out there every day moving airplanes, fueling airplanes, interacting with customers. They know where the safety risks and hazards are. Yes. If you can empower those individuals and to share that information in a way that is easy for them, and then, of course, management has to actually act on it. That's another part. But, Jeanette, tell me a little bit about, so I'm a frontline employee, and there's something I see that's going on, and I want to report that into the system, and I'm using, iReportSource. What does that process look like? What do I do?
Oh, it's very simple. We've made it in a way that anybody can do it. So if you're out on the field, you can use a mobile device, phone, tablet, or if you happen to have a laptop or desktop, you can do it on the web as well. But we have a see something, say something report where you can make an observation. Maybe you see something that's not in compliance or looks unsafe, but you're not the one that's necessarily going to fix it. You just want to let somebody know about it. They're able to just pull out their device, answer a couple questions about what it is. They can take a picture and send it off, and immediately their supervisor gets notified that something needs to be acted upon.
Yeah, that to me is invaluable, right? Now you're placing this,
Yeah.
it's not the comment box sitting back in the office that you
Right.
got to go in and fill out a form, right? It's everyone is used to, doing things right here on their
Yep.
phone. Being able to instantly submit a hazard report with a photograph, I mean, that's fantastic if needed. And it goes to the right person within the organization to immediately begin to be analyzed, assessed, and acted upon. That's fantastic.
And
So
go ahead, Mike.
go ahead.
I was
No,
just going
please,
to say
after you.
one thing to add is that, and if there is something, when they see it, and there is something, it's like, oh, this is a bigger issue. This wasn't immediately corrected. Um, we have a really good platform to begin that, what you just described. Let's do a little root cause analysis. Let's implement a corrective action. And then in my past life where I was dealing with, just decentralized location, you just want to have that good feeling like it got closed. I assigned it, there's a deadline, there's reminders, and it got done. Because again, it gets back to, I love that closure piece of what we do and what a good SMS does electronically, because it gives you a little bit of peace of mind. Like, hey, that's great. Our frontline worker found the issue, brought it to everyone's attention, and by gosh, we took care of it. And there's so there's engagement, and I think there's also accountability. You mentioned before about management has to do something, but when they're reacting like that, then the frontline person all of a sudden says, well, hey, there's some other things I think we ought to discuss, and so it's a really effective tool for engagement. So sorry to go on about that, but it's an important point to me from past life.
Yeah, no, and whenever we talk to general managers, operations managers, even supervisors, if you want to get that information and you want to know where your risks and the safety issues are, you've got to empower and respond to the people that are putting them in there.
Agreed.
The death knell for any SMS is if your hazard reports are being ignored and not acted upon.
Yeah.
And with a system like iReportSource. And I'll say it right now, guys. I've learned the wrong way. I've been calling it iSource report. We talked about this at the beginning. Isn't that terrible? The way you say something wrong once and it just sticks in your head. So,
Mike, by the way, we've grown to refer to it as iReport because it's just easier, just quicker.
iReport.
So, iReport.
Very good. Yep. Well, I love the idea of the being able to number one submit a hazard report, that type of thing through the See Something Say Something portal on the app, but then also being able to track it, see that things have happened, see that it's closed out, actions being taken. That incentivizes people to do more. Now, one thing too, you guys are not strangers to the aviation business world. You guys are working with. Another NATA member company, and have really made the foray into aviation business. How's that been? You guys seen things done differently in aviation than you're seeing in other segments?
I think I'll say a little bit, and I think Jeanette should take this one, but I think this goes to not only that member, but also one of the, I think I mentioned to you early on, Mike, that we really, NATA and what they have to do is really attractive to us because it was instant activity with this member that they got it and they're like, we need to do this and we're going to push and push. And so they've pushed Jeanette and her team to do stuff. And so Jeanette, why don't you describe a little bit about some of the activity and some of the things that have come from that?
Absolutely. So, well, the first thing that we did was develop some new reports that could be some incident reports that could be submitted by the users here. One is an aircraft damage and the other is a fuel related report. So those are two additional reports that can be submitted. What I've noticed is that this particular FBO organization they're using the inspections and the risk assessments daily. There's the aircraft arrival, the aircraft departure, the de-icing. They've got about 30 different audits that they can do that are their audits. They're not ours. They gave them to us. We've built them in as a custom risk assessment that they can do. And they're just kind of running with that. They've got a group at each location that is driving this, doing all of these audits, but they're also involving every employee, which, as you know, that culture is what really will make a big difference with the safety of all employees. So it's been a pleasure working with them, and they've kind of set the stage for everybody at NATA to jump on and kind of make this their own as well.
And they've helped us get better too, which we've appreciated. Yep.
Well, and I think that's what, I know with NATA, that's what we look for in a partner, somebody that, we're not here to sell a product.
Yep.
We're here to make a difference in the industry, and we're looking for partners who want to do the same. And that's what I've been impressed with talking to you all and hearing about the experience of the NATA members that are implementing iReport. I don't believe that. Make it nice and easy to say there. That are implementing it. That's the feedback that I've heard. You guys are. It's not just about a product. It's about making a difference. It's about moving the needle on safety. So, Tom, Jeanette, welcome to the NATA family. We're so excited to have you guys here, and look forward to many years of improving safety and coming up with new and innovative ways to help people get the job done safely. For our attendees, people that are on watching today, the website appearing right here on the bottom of the screen, you can go check out more information about iReportSource. You can schedule a demo. You can read about the program. I encourage you to at least do the demo. See what they can do. The software is fantastic. It's easy to use. It's powerful, and hopefully it's going to make a difference in safety, and we believe that. So with that, Tom, Jeanette, any closing comments before we wrap up today?
Mike, the only thing I'd say is that I think there's lots of software packages and things like that you can buy, and then you're just kind of out there on an island. We really have decided to put a stake in the ground and say we're here after. Once you get started, that's when we really do the work and we really become your partner. And I think that's been part of our conversations leading up to this, kind of launch, is that, are you guys really going to be there? And that's what we want to be about to your members and to NATA.
Well, that's fantastic. Tom and Jeanette, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure this is not the last time we'll share a screen together.
Excellent.
So welcome, and again, thank you.
Mike, thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
And to everyone that's, thank you, Jeanette. And to everyone that's joining us, thank you for taking the time out to join us at NATA Views from the Ramp. If you did do it at the beginning, now's a great time. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That way we can help get this great information out to everyone else. And with that, thank you for joining us, and hope everyone has a fantastic day.